Here we go. 3 weeks worth of work. Well, not really, just 3 weeks worth of patience. Anyway, let's pour one. Look at that. Look at that. That's not a bad DIY project, is it? Well, g'day everyone, back up in the shed, and today we're going to make a batch of homebrew. Paddlefisher Pale Ale. Well, actually it's a Cooper's kit, Cooper's homebrew kit. So let's get started. I'll run you through the process from go to woe, and before we know it, we'll be enjoying a cold pale ale. Anyway, this is what you'll need. I've got my brew kit here. You can buy them from any good bottle shop. These are the ingredients that we'll need. That's the brewer's extract right there, brew enhancer, and when we're bottling we'll need carbonation drops. This will make 23 litres of beer, and a carton of beer is 9 litres, so there's a lot of beer going to be made. And the price, initially you'll pay around the $100 mark for the brew kit, and you'll get a set of ingredients with the brew kit. After that, all of this cost me, I think it's about 20 bucks for the extract, 10 to 15 for the enhancer, and a couple of bucks for the carbonation drops. So you're looking at around $35–40 for that. But like I said, it'll make you 23 litres of beer, which is you know, 2.5 cartons worth of beer. So it's great value. Anyway, let's get started. So first thing we have to do is clean everything, and you've really got to pay attention to that. This is probably the most critical part of home brewing, is making sure everything's really spotlessly clean. So let's get stuck into the cleaning. So hot soapy water. I've sterilised the sponge in boiling water, and now it's a case of just getting everything really spotlessly clean. So you can use, Cooper's sells their own sanitizer. You can use bleach, but if you're going to use bleach, use an unscented bleach. Just plain household bleach is fine. I generally use soapy water. Now you're ready to start mixing. Alright, so first thing you want to do is get a little container. Now your brewer's extract has a little pack of yeast on top. Get that out of the way. And you want to put your extract in a tub and pour some warm water in there. And make sure it's warm, not boiling. Just enough to sort of loosen it up a bit. Make it a bit softer, easier to pour. Alright, then you want to get into your brew enhancer. And get that into the brewing vessel. Just get it straight in there. And add some water to get it started. A little bit of warm water will help too. And get stirring. And it doesn't look very exciting at this stage. It looks pretty rough actually, but it's all part of the process, trust me. Make sure you get all the solid lumps out of it. And you'll notice I've got a thermometer on the side of the vessel here. You're aiming to get it around the 22 degrees Celsius mark. Next step, Open up the can of extract. Now be warned, it doesn't look very appetising at this stage either. Oh, in she goes. And if I hadn't warmed that can up, it's almost rock solid if you don't warm it up. It takes forever to come out. Get the spoon in there, make sure you get everything out. Stir it all up. Alright, there you go. Looks pretty rough at this stage, doesn't it? You just got to stir it up, get all those solid lumps out of it. Trust me, it's all part of the process. Next step, fill it up with water. It really is this simple. So you can see on the side here, that's your 23 litre mark. It's just a simple case of filling it up to that point. And it does kind of start looking a bit more like beer as you're filling it up. That's it, simple as that. Bit more of a stir, and I'll wait for this foam to subside a little bit before I put any yeast in. Alright, next I'll get my Kreuzen collar. That goes on there like so. Get your little clips. That'll hold it in place. And the reason you put a collar on is when the yeast starts to ferment, it can bubble up a bit. That'll just stop it overflowing the sides. After about 3 days it'll settle. Take your collar off and just have your lid sitting on. But anyway, so the temperature's 24, so it's a little bit high, but it'll be fine. I'm going to put the yeast in now. And that's just a matter of sprinkling over the top. Just like so. No need to stir it. And that is all you need. You're ready. You simply put the lid on now. That goes and sits in a dark place. Leave it for a week. I'll bottle it in a week's time, and then you leave it in the bottle for 2 weeks before you drink it. But that's it until this stage. That goes in the laundry now, and see you in a week's time. Well, g'day again everyone. So it's been a week since I brewed this beer, and we're ready for bottling. As you can see, it looks much more like beer now. It looked pretty rough when we started, but yeah, here we go. We've got 22 litres in there. Most of it will be bottled. There'll be a bit of sludge at the bottom, but we'll get a good batch out of this. Let's start bottling. Alright, so what we want to do is you've got your little bottling attachment here. Just get that up into your tap. Turn your tap completely on, and that'll fill up, and there's a little valve down here. Press that and out she comes. Now these brown bottles are the ones that come with the kit, so I'll be filling them, but I've also got old soda bottles there. Any bottle will do, as long as you get a good seal on the top. And that's it. Simple as that. Fill all your bottles up and you've got a batch ready to go. So I'm going to carry on with this. fill all my bottles up and we'll see how many we end up with. Alright, we'll do one of these clear bottles. You might be able to get a bit of a better look at how it goes. Come to help, every bits. You come to help. Good girl. As you can see, it does take a while. And there we have it. And it does look a lot more like beer now than when we first started. Anyway, I'll carry on with this. It'll take a while, but we'll get there. Okay, so we're getting close to the end now, and you don't want to go right to the bottom because it's a bit sludgy down on the bottom there. But I reckon I'll get a couple more bottles out of this. Alright, there you go, there's around 20. And as you can see, some pretty nasty looking sediment down there. And we don't want that, so that'll just about do it. And that'll all go in the compost heap. The worms will love it. Righto, final step before putting the lid on is carbonation. And you do that with your carbonation drops. So that's just, well, basically sugar, glucose. So for the 740ml bottles, it's 2 drops per bottle. And for the 1.25s, it's 3 drops per bottle. So I'll just work my way through this. And then we'll put the lids on. So I'm going to stick all these in an esky and leave them in my shed for a couple of weeks at least, and then we'll get into them. Next step is cleaning everything. And clean everything after you finish the brew and before you start your next brew, just to make sure it's you keep the hygiene up, because that is the major way to cause a brew to fail, is lack of hygiene. Anyway, I'm not going to show you that. I'm not going to bore you with that again. Next thing you'll see is a couple of weeks time me pouring a beer. See you then. Alright, here we are. It's 5 weeks since we started the brewing process, 3 weeks since I bottled, and here we go, we're ready. I actually opened one a week after I bottled it and the carbonation wasn't quite there. I opened one a week later, that is last week, and the carbonation was good. So let's crack one, let's pour one and see how we go. Sounds better. Let's pour it. Yes, that's more like it. It looks like a proper beer. How's that? Have a look at that. Golden hazy pale ale. Paddlefisher Pale Ale. Let's have a taste. Ah, nectar. Beautiful. So there it is. It's not a bad DIY home project, is it? End up with a couple of cartons worth of beer for not a lot of work, a little bit of patience, but yeah, well worth it. I haven't really gone into the specifics of brewing in this video, so if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty, I suggest go and check out the Cooper's website. But anyway, cheers guys, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.